debut. If Gabriel is not cleared for Sunday's game against the Raiders, Shedeur will make his first NFL start. There's no obvious reason they shouldn't let him start anyway, but that's my opinion. J-Mac, you were on the call of that game for CBS. Can you describe what the stadium was like when he ran on the field?
Well, let's start with the first half, because Dillon Gabriel's out there and let the offense do anything that was bad. The crowd, boo!
Oh, God.
Dillon Gabriel doesn't come out for the second half. You see Shedeur on the sideline. We're up in the booth, and we're like, what's going on? Where's Dillon Gabriel? Shedeur takes the field. He doesn't even get past the numbers yet. Does one of these to the crowd, and the place erupted.
Yes.
Then they do a pass play on his first snap. 4-yard pass, little out route on the sideline. They're all going nuts.
Here it is.
The amount of number 12 jerseys in the stands. College kids standing there showing their wrist, the watch celebration that Shedeur does, the amount of autographs. Like, he is a bona fide superstar there. The fans have been wanting this. And Greeny, you're right. Yes, was Shedeur's performance good? No. By all measures, he was not good in that game. But there were a few throws in that game that he makes that you're like, all right, he may have something.
The organizational malpractice that we have witnessed from that team, to have Joe Flacco and what's the quarterback? Kenny Pickett there, and give Kenny Pickett all this work in the preseason and then trade him and leave your two rookies that are sitting there, so that when Shedeur Sanders actually has to come into a winnable game against a division opponent, his offensive line has never heard his cadence before. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And like the small things that like the average fan won't pick up, like from center to quarterback exchange. I mean, he may have gotten 4 or 5 snaps like the whole year. Now you're going to snap the rest of the game to him. Like you said, the cadence. He goes under to give his cadence. The offensive line is literally listening like the defensive line does. Half the guys are probably looking at the ball to see when the center snaps it, because they don't know inflection. And then when the ball is coming out, you don't know where his launch point is going to be, right? Every quarterback kind of sets up different. So as you're getting ready for this, and you know he's a rookie, it's going to take time to process. It was a setup for failure in the whole situation. Did he play? No. I mean, what were your expectations?
Yeah.
That's what I would ask everybody who's criticized. What were your expectations for this kid with literally getting 0 reps and coming in and being asked to go finish this game?
It did feel like, at least in the quarterback room, they constructed that roster like they were playing a video game. Like, you just grab a bunch of whatever pieces that are available, and they got rid of Joe Flacco, too, which I understand that he wasn't going to take you anywhere, but it's a veteran presence. Like, we got 2 rookies leaning on each other.
Right.
Neither of them don't know nothing.
Right.
And they're in a meeting room together. Like, pay somebody who's played in this league, who's had some success in this league, to just sit there and answer questions.
Yes.
Like, this is how you prepare and be able to be that conduit. And right now, who does Shedeur go to for that type of support?
100.
Dillon Gabriel?
Exactly. And when you're in the meetings and when you're going out to practice, you can't get Shedeur's reps because Dillon's got to get him.
Yeah.
Whoever's playing, like when you got a rookie and a rookie, like you have Flacco, you can take 10 plays and give it to the rookie. You can't do that now because neither of them know anything.
I'm going to set aside some more time for this in our second hour.
This
but
was
Dan,
brutal.
Finish up the thought.
The perception of who Shedeur Sanders is on the outside versus what it is on the inside of that building is different. They drafted him in the 5th round. They view him as a developmental quarterback prospect that in their ideal world would not have taken a single snap this year. They wanted him to learn in the background. They had the 2 veterans. I think the best point that's being made here is they needed to keep at least one of those veterans as a sounding board, if nothing else, for these guys.
Bailey Zappi on the practice squad. That's the sounding board.
It's amazing. But now they play a Raiders team that we just saw look just god-awful last night on a short week. I mean, something good could happen. I'm saying that if he plays this weekend, he might have it with actual practice and his offensive linemen know.
ESPN at Chris Canty 99 at EFCO Radio at M. Smallman. A fake Step Brothers picture, a photoshopped Step Brothers picture of Cece and I after the baby shower on Saturday, in which, I mean, Smalls, I think you're the only one that can categorize what actually happened at the baby shower with me on Saturday.
Evan was the star of the show. It was not Cece. It was not his wonderful wife. It wasn't even necessarily the baby to be. It was Evan Cohen. I sat at a table with Evan, unfortunately.
What was that last one?
Unfortunately. But it was fortunate for me because I got to witness the receiving line that was there for Evan Cohen. People lined up wanting to chat up Evan, take photos with him, scold me. You guys need to be nicer to Evan.
Yeah, that was a good theme. I like that one.
Yeah. Take it easy on Ev. I got a lot. Take it easy on him. I was like, take it easy on him. He's the one stirring it up.
That was an interesting theme. I didn't see that one coming either.
You
it was an amazing event.
You turned to me at one point and you go, how did I become a sympathetic figure?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question. But it happened. Okay, can I give you my most fascinating storyline in the NFL right now?
What you got?
I think the Atlanta Falcons are one of the most interesting teams in the league right now. Yesterday, Adam Schefter reported that unfortunately, Michael Penix Jr., their quarterback, is likely not going to play again this season because of a knee injury, that there's some damage to the ACL, but he's going through further tests to make sure of that. If, unfortunately, Penix is done for the season, Adam pointed out that when you factor in his time in college, the last 8 years, 5 of them have ended early because of injury. Tragically, there is no other way of saying it, but Michael Penix is an injury-prone football player, unfortunately. They also have a starting quarterback as their backup in Kirk Cousins, who they gave a ton of money to, then drafted Penix in the top 10 of the draft, and they create this controversy, and Cousins like, what the heck? Why did I sign here if this is going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, and by the way, if you're saying that neither of these guys are now going to be considered the quarterbacks for now or later, and your default is, unfortunately, they may just have to not pick up Penix's option in a couple of years, and they may have to just ride this out for next year, but they should draft a quarterback. They don't have their first-round pick this year because they gave it up to from the Atlanta Falcons to the LA Rams. Well, again, why this story continues to be more interesting? That's a top 10 pick. You could sit there and rip them for that. Fine. You could also say, well, who did they draft instead? James Pierce, who they got this year as a linebacker, a pass rusher, has been excellent. So their pick actually worked out, but giving up a pick in the future now is not. This team is really messy right now. Some may say hot mess in Atlanta, and I don't know what they are supposed to do. The most logical take that I have seen on the Atlanta Falcons, who very likely are going to fire their coach at some point and clean out their front office, the most logical take that I have seen is from one Nuno Miguel Barrera Teixeira, our producer of the show, which he said they better hope that Kirk Cousins is now just good enough for the next year and a half. Seriously, that's where this is. This team is in no man's land. And it's sad because Penix Jr. is just injury prone. But how concerned are you guys by this injury and the state of this franchise?
Well, you have to be concerned about his career arc because I can't remember too many quarterbacks that have had 3 knee reconstructions before their 3rd season in the NFL. Oof. The only one that I know that comes to mind is Deshaun Watson. And he was able to get on the other side of that. But those are significant injuries. I mean, in the sport of football, you need your lower body for everything, especially if you're a quarterback, being able to plant and drive and throw the football downfield. You got to have a strong foundation, and when you have to deal with 3 knee reconstructions, that becomes a problem. Now, we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening, the extent of the damage to Michael Penix's knee before we take a definitive position, but you have to at least be concerned with the fact pattern with all of the injuries that this guy has had to deal with over the last 8 years. And if you're the Atlanta Falcons, you bet big on him because you mortgage your 2020